They identified RIP, that's Routing Information Protocol, which is really actually a very old protocol. It's one of the most rudimentary of being able to share routes between routers. RIP version 1 has been used is being used in reflective denial of service attacks. So there are some points here. There's basically on their website, and the link is down here for you. It basically gives some basic things that you really need to know about it. Is that they're being used in denial of service attacks. RIP is really a protocol that really isn't used very often at all anymore. It might be used in a very small enterprise environment. It's a relatively easy protocol to set up for setting up routes. Not really used in a very large environment, and certainly not used in the internet. So the fact that some devices appear to be responding to this appears to be a flaw and is something that will need to get worked out. But in the meantime, it needs to be treated treated in the context of reflective denial of service attacks. Anything originating from port 520 UDP, perhaps a suspect, certainly if you're getting an awful lot of traffic of that sort. Now, to take a look at this in terms of measurements from our analysis, what we see is, I would say back around the beginning of May, there have been some relatively small activities that appear to be associated with this reflection attack activity. There was a spike that we saw around perhaps the middle of May that apparently was a reflective denial of service attack that targeting an organization and a number of attacks. And you can see that there's a sort of an increasing frequency. Now, I wanted to put this into perspective here. Here is basically an aggregate of reflective attack activity that we've seen over the last, I guess we're looking at 30 days here. The previous graph was 60 days, but this one looking at 30 days. I actually reverted to 30 days because when I had 90 days there, all these colors kind of mashed together and really looked kind of ugly. But anyway, it turns out that that port 520 UDP shows up in red on this graph, and you won't be able to see it. It's actually way down in the noise here. And we've been reporting a lot on SNMP reflective attack activity. It's actually, this RIP activity is actually smaller. So I think that's perhaps one of the reasons that we hadn't reported on this earlier. We hadn't really noticed it. In the case with Akamai, they reported they saw I think a 12.5 gigabit per second of attack. That is, that's something that someone's going to notice.
Yeah, that'd be a problem if it was aimed at you.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. But in the aggregate activity, there was really not that much attack activity using this protocol. In any case, it is one to be paying attention to, and certainly if you have devices that are facing the internet, you want to make sure that that routing information protocol is not open on that device.